Okay, tonight we're going to talk about a tool called Masscan. Very similar to Nmap, uses a lot of the same commands. However, it's extremely fast. And when you compile it with the proper driver for your network card, it's a high performance driver, it can like scream to the point where you can scan the entire internet for a port in just a matter of hours or so. But what we're going to do is we're going to kind of give some examples over here. It's in Kali. And if we come over here and just type in Masscan-H, you'll get just a little bit of help. It gives you some stuff to get you going. We can bump that up, though, and use --help, which will give you a little more. Not much, but a little more. And then, of course, you can also see all the similar commands that it has with Nmap as well. So you can do this same scenario and just type in Nmap. And now you get, kind of the overlap between the two scanners. Now, to basically get this thing going, it's pretty straightforward. Well, let's see, type sudo first. We're going to do Masscan, and on this one we're just going to type in our network that we're going to scan, which is my home network here. And you have to put a port command in at the bare minimum. So we're going to do ports, and we're going to do 80 and 443. Okay, just look for the web ports. All right, and let's see what happens. And we didn't put any rate in there, so it's operating at the default rate. And you can look there, it says 0.00 kilobits per second. So once this finishes, we'll see if we can speed this up a little bit. All right, so that wasn't too bad. It was pretty quick. Let's do this though. We're going to take the rate up to 1,000. And let's see if this speeds it up a little bit. And it did seem to find them a little bit quicker. Now, if you get faster than what your network interface can handle, you'll start dropping stuff. So here, we've got these set up, and we got pretty similar results. We got 7 in each scan. But let's bring this up to 10,000, and let's see if this interface can handle it. Doesn't look like it. Looks like we only got 4 because it started dropping packets. So if you keep it low and keep it at a reasonable level, you won't drop packets. But if you want, you can go ahead and compile a custom kernel and the Ethernet driver and do all this stuff and get the right Ethernet card, the high performance card you need, if you really need some speed. But I think running it at 1,000 is probably more than anybody needs. Now, there's some other options we can throw at this. Okay, we're going to keep that rate at 1,000. But let's see, what about we just get just the open ports? Okay, so now it's going to scan, and it's only going to look for ports that it thinks are open. And it's only looking, we're still just looking at ports 80 and 443. And you can see it come up with one other port, so that could have been something to do with the scanning rate, possibly. But, if we're doing this for, scanning for targets, we're going to need a little bit more information. So we can ask for the banners. And let's see if it finds any banners. All right, starting to pull some banners down. Okay. So we can see that it found a couple of HTTP servers. It did find a print server. an HP NV4520 series. And yes, that's some stuff we can go off of to kind of probe. But now there's a little more we can do with this. We can actually take the scan a little bit. Let's see here, copying and pasting something in. So let's see if it actually pastes right. Nope, there's some issues here. All right, so what we're going to do is we're going to do Masscan, but we're going to use the Nmap command, lowercase s, uppercase s, and -pn, which is going to scan every machine, whether it's up or not. And then we're going to rate limit that to 1,000 and do that same network. So if we scan this, we get our host there. It's back to the 7 for some reason. But let's see if it finds, it doesn't do any of the banners right then. We only did the ports, but we did it as everything, treat everything as though it's up. And then we did the send scan, the stealth scan. So a little bit like Nmap, kind of the same command lines. And of course you can add the other stuff to this if you want. We can add the banners, and then we can do one other thing. We can do output format, and you got a lot of choices here. I'm going to actually just use the one that's called list, which just basically echoes the text that we're getting out of the tool. And then we're going to do the file name, which will be --output -file name. And then we'll put a file name. We'll just go network scan. And we'll hit enter. And if I typed everything right, it'll actually work. So it's found 8, and it has written the results to the file. So if we do ls network.scan, more network.scan, and there's our results in a file. Nice and easy, so we can take that out and use it in our pen test. So that's it. Let me know if you got any questions down in the comments, and I'll see if I can answer them for you. And we'll see you next time.